What's going on? Welcome to the podcast. Whatchamacallit. This is the first ever episode. I'm Ben. I am a I am intrigued with Fortnite. I'm a sports enthusiast and I love tech. And today we got my good friend Kazem, a longtime Fortnite nerd, a casual sports player, and also he is also really into the kind of also a casual user who enjoys new technology. But today we have a big long episode for you. All right, let's get into this. So how are you so how are you doing, Ben? Or how are we doing, Kazem?
I'm doing good. I just finished all day grinding Fortnite. Just
Mm.
been and playing outside and talking with you, thinking of a script. It's been a while.
Yeah, so I can see you doing all of those things, but today right now we're just gonna stay on the Fortnite bit of it. Um why do you still play Fortnite? Give me one sentence that sells why you still play Fortnite.
Um, it's the one game that can be a sweaty competitive match, a social hangout, and a live concert all in the same week. And I've never known which version I'll get when I jump in.
Hmm. That's unpredictably is the charm. Let's talk seasons though. The map keeps changing. Every events keep dropping. Is that really what keeps people coming back?
Absolutely. Seasonal storytelling gives you a goal beyond just giving an about a victory royale. New mechanics each season means you're consistently relearning the meta, which is exhausting and brilliant at the same time.
Exhausting and brilliant. Exhausting and brilliant. We should give listeners one usable tip that you would say. What's your top piece of advice for someone just starting Fortnite?
Land somewhere quiet for the first few matches. Don't try to prove yourself in tilted towers.
I would agree
Use
with that.
creative
Yeah.
modes to practice basic builds. Ramp towers, quick 90s, simple edits. The game rewards mechanical comfort more than raw aim early on.
I would agree with that, but I also think that for Fortnite, if you don't understand the building mechanic, which I believe we are getting into a little bit later, you can always just try zero build because zero build is just Fortnite, but it's not with all the building. I also think that building was pretty hard. I actually started off playing zero build, but so because I'm for the intermediate players who are tired of getting third partied, what do they need to focus on?
I think they need to focus on movement and rotations, like finding cover,
Mm.
um, tracking storm, know where they're going, learning more about the map and like how to
Mm.
move around it.
I would also agree that they need to be able to use the materials. I know with me as well, when I started to play builds, I didn't build that much. I was more like a zero build player because that's what I worked with for a long time. But now I'm actually starting to use builds in fights that aren't just panic fights. I understand the game really well, and I think um, we movement and rotation, that's actually a great one, but we should also start talking about materials. So what currently do you think the build meta is? Some people love the building meta, others complain that it locks out of new players, and that's why I say you should go to zero build if you're a new player. Where do you
Um,
stand with all of this?
I feel like for intermediate players or like new players, they really want to just like play with like think they're good,
Mm,
but like want to jump straight into like BR and like think like you should really like work on your building
mm,
and work on like all your other mechanics and like rotations before you like jump straight into builds
mm.
because there's
I would
like
say
a
building
ceiling for
building
everyone.
is a skill ceiling. Was that what you were gonna say?
Yeah,
Okay, continue then.
I just like it's a skill ceiling. It creates dynamics compared to just other shooters. Uh, I think, but Epic should give like more advanced tutorials and like get like better matchmaking.
Yeah, I believe that lower. No offense to the low skill players that are just starting, but I feel like they should be down in lower building lobbies so they can get comfortable at the game and eventually they move up.
Yeah, like me and Ben, like at one point we weren't like the best and we didn't like build a lot and we
Mm.
didn't have good like movement or rotations and like didn't know how to find cover. But we played in like zero builds and creative maps and got better and now we can play in like creative maps and like I mean like VR and like builds and like not like just like hide around the corner the entire time.
I agree with that. But now let's switch a little bit. We're staying into under the Fortnite umbrella. But what about crossover content? Marvel, DC, concerts, singers, Ninja, like all of the icon stuff, movie skins. How much do you think that shapes the community's experience?
I feel like it brings back old players who feel like very interested about the topic, and also brings a bunch of new players into the
Mm,
ecosystem and brings like people who may not like Fortnite into the game and like so people can like be more connected to each other.
mm. That's pretty insane. I also think that we it's I also think it's definitely gameplay because some gameplay can change, especially in creative maps. Um, what do you think about creative mode? You spend a lot of time in creative. What kind of trends are you seeing out there that are working?
Creative runs wild. There are insane minigames, reactions of other titles, and even narrative islands that feel like the problem is discoverability. I think they need to push those little creators because all Phage is just like the big creators like stealing the big creators and copies of the big creators, while like the new original content is pushed to the bottom.
So earlier you were mentioning competitive pursuit. Can you kind of walk me through that? Even though I'm a big Fortnite fan myself, let's walk the viewers through what's the scene like now. Is Fortnite esports still healthy?
Um, it's healthy, but not as explosive as during the World Cup peak. The pro scene has stabilized consistent tournaments, good talent, but always changing meta.
Mm,
That can make long-term dominance hard, except if you're Peterbot. The
mm,
vitality keeps its interest interesting through. You don't just learn one play style and stick for it with years. You learn
yeah,
multiple
yeah.
play styles to keep with the
Especially
current
this
meta.
season, we had the bugs at the beginning of the season. Then they went away. Then they came back. Then they went away. Then they vaulted all medallions.
Yeah.
So we should just now speaking about all of the updates this season. Let's touch balance on the community when they rage on when an item is OP or when something is annoying in the game, like the bugs. How do you think Epic should handle that?
Epic should listen to their old players because their old players know what works and what really got them into Fortnite. Their new players should have an opinion too, but their old players are like the ones who like really started Fortnite and like they know that what is balanced or like not and they really like because the new players just hop into the game and like die to like someone spamming a new
Mm,
OP weapon, but like there's like counters to it and like Fortnite knows what it does, but like sometimes Fortnite's not always right. So that's why they should listen to their OGs.
I agree. Finally, what thoughts do you have for listeners that are kind of wanting to get back into Fortnite?
Um, Never back down, never give up. Start small, play with friends, explore creative, and treat the game like it's meant to be. A sandbox. Explore fun islands, share it, and grow the community. Invite friends, play with new people, and yeah.
I mean, that is how the community grows. All right, thank you, Kazem, for all the tips and lots of things we talked about this. But now I want to completely change gears and go into sports. Like earlier, I said I am a sports enthusiast because I'm not really a sports enthusiast. So let's start getting into the aspects of
Okay, you're making
sports.
me sound like a fat Fortnite mod.
I'm so
This is
very
like
sorry
this.
because I'm so
I'm
very
talking
I'm
about
so very sorry because I'm
touching
so very sorry.
grass.
I'm so
Oh
very sorry.
my
I'm so
god,
very sorry. I'm so very sorry. I'm so very sorry.
I'm not 200 pounds and just eat Cheetos all day.
Well, I would hope not. You're 12.
Oh yeah, that sounds bad. Guys, I touch grass. It's
All
just
right.
like a
Okay.
soft
Okay.
grass.
Okay. We get it. Them. We get it. Them. Let's talk about the cultural aspect of sports that can unify communities. Just
Um,
look at how local teams bring people together, like the Lakers and Philadelphia and pretty much everybody.
um, yeah, sports can turn strangers into like friends, or like communities rally around a team, and you can be introduced to new people. And if you play on a team, you can strangers can become maybe like your best friend,
Oh,
and
for
like
sure.
get
And
better
and
at.
and going on to the point of just entertainment, athletes athletes often use their platforms like their socials to advocate for social justice. Just take Colin Carpieric. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but for example, he's just like it's incredibly having conversations, talking about racial inequality. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, her actions have like changed many things about sports, making it more fair for people of different races, and many other athletes have done this too. And like yeah, using their social media to influence changes in many sports.
I mean, even before social media, I mean, don't forget about 1968 Olympics. The Black Power salute was a powerful statement that resulted or was seen globally.
Yeah, sports have always been a large part of society. Um, Many like sports athletes have people that look up to them and want to do what the people think is right.
Mm, mm. All right, let's shift a little bit over to the health benefits of sports. I definitely think it can improve your physical and mental health, but it can also decline those.
Yeah, you should sports really help with your health and mental health, and but if you're not like careful with that, you can like spiral into depression and like get hurt. But like they really do help you.
This is true. And with so many kids spending time indoors nowadays, youth sports can combat those bad lifestyles and make you more fit and make you feel better about yourself and your physique.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Esports has definitely like grown over the years. Like let's say when like most of the people watching were born, esports wasn't really a thing, but now
Mm.
it's become massive.
Yeah, actually, I do want to talk about esports now. Um, it's kind of incredible how it's become a legitimate industry, and those gamers have massive followings, almost like traditional athletes. Like, look at Peterbot. He's making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars off of Fortnite.
Like
Too bad he didn't win FNCS this year. That was Swizzy, but still, all these Fortnite players are just making so much money off of this.
yeah, like some people hate it and some people love it, but like it's like trending now and like
Mm-hmm.
it's like becoming a thing and like it's almost as big as like agile sports and
Mm-hmm.
people with like massive followings and like
And a lot of
you're like
massive
introduced to new
following,
cultures.
and a lot of massive following people is talk about cultures and also mental health. Athletes can face in immense pressure that can also take a toll on their physical health. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like athletes should take precautions before like doing their sport and like I feel like they should put like their health first
Mm.
instead of
I
anything
mean,
else.
and Michael Phelps speaks about his struggles. It's it's just kind of insane how this is helps this stuff helps break the stigma around the mental health, showing that it's okay to seek help, which I think is very important for
Yeah,
young
in
athletes.
society, it's like shun to like speak about like your problems and like talk about them. But we should really like encourage that
Mm-hmm.
because sports can like be like deteriorating on your mental health and you
Mm-hmm.
should like ask for help.
All right, now thinking now since we're talking more about deteriorating the brain, I want to talk about the dangers of brain rot. Have you heard of the concept called brain rot?
Yeah, I've come across it. It's an alarming term. What do you think it means?
Well, it generally refers to mental decline that happens from lots of screen time and social media, consuming low quality information like tung 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 sahur, chalalelo chalala. I've noticed that it's the attention span are just shrinking as people are getting more lazy and lazy.
Exactly. We're losing our ability to critically think for ourselves. Our attention spans have shrunk, and our patience for stuff is getting smaller and smaller.
It is sure much more difficult for me to concentrate on a book for more than a few minutes. It's kind of scary to think about how this might impact our connectivity abilities in the long term.
Yeah. The constant cycle of distractions can cause like anxiety and like memory issues and like
It's a vicious cycle.
and it like always happened because like when like let's say our parents, me and Ben's parents, when they like first got like phones, like they're
The
like
BlackBerry.
yeah, Nokia,
Well, the
Motorola.
BlackBerry was peak. I actually had one a
My
long time
mom's
ago.
first phone was a BlackBerry.
Yeah, I had
My
one a long
dad's was
time.
like a
I love. I
Nokia.
know. I know the Nokia, bro.
Very
Okay. What do you think are some ways to combat the brain rot?
like exercise, like the what
Mm.
like we were talking about sports. They're like a good way to like
Uh,
combat brain rot and like do
I
like
mean, for
uh,
me, my
active
dad,
stuff.
my dad owns a third of the company run Nebraska. A lot of people aren't gonna know what that is, but it's road races. And so we recently had the White Light Mile a few days ago, and there were so many people out there. We had many women break 5 minutes, 5 minute miles. So it was
Yeah,
pretty insane because they've just been physically active instead of scrolling on shorts all day. And I think this exercise increases your blood flow and it can definitely help with stress.
yeah, even like mental activities like playing a board game or like playing a game of chess can like increase your mental health and like maybe like playing a game of Uno with your family instead of like playing like
Mm,
Fortnite.
I agree. Um, exactly. So I also now that it's kind of scary to think about some of this, but since we're talking about phones, I want to move over to the iPhone 17. Is it a scam? Again, I am a very big tech savvy individual, and Kazem's more of a casual user, and he knows a little bit, but he's more into the cool stuff. So, have you seen the hype around the iPhone 17?
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it, but honestly, I'm starting to think it might be a scam.
I agree. Every year, the release Apple makes their new model with minor upgrades. It's like they're just recycling the same features over and over and over.
Totally. They all they do is like add new colors and slightly move the
Like
camera.
who
Like
wants 5 cameras on a phone that's
like
orange?
like you can't like call that like a new phone. That's
You
like
added another
a
camera.
update.
You literally added another camera and changed the color of the phone.
At this point, and they made it out of aluminum, like a tin can.
Not
But like,
aluminium,
if
bro.
you're playing like Clash Royale or like Brawl Stars, and then you accidentally squeeze too hard,
Hashtag
it's
not
like a
sponsored.
there's like a permanent dent on your phone. At least
They
the
also wanted to
titanium
make
was
the
nice.
iPhone Air. Do you remember when they made that? They made that
Yes.
with the iPhone 8. That thing
Mhm.
bent so easily. I broke mine one time actually. I dropped I was on my couch, or it was on my bed, and I dropped hangers on it, and like it literally like shattered, like the screen shattered.
I totally agree with you. Like, they just like make like tiny changes
Hmm.
and um and they like up the price by like $1,000
It
and
almost feels
for
like
like
they want you to upgrade every year, even because it's a money making scheme. They don't actually benefit. It doesn't benefit the Americans in really any way. It's a disgusting process.
yeah, like there's a cycle where they play influencers to push it on social media and
and
like
and
they
I've never been approached, but I know of people that have been approached to promote the iPhone, even though they don't like it, and they promote it because they get paid.
like you see other people with like the new iPhone and you're like, I wish I had that, even though it's like the exact same thing.
It's the exact same thing as the iPhone 16. I mean, my parents still have iPhone 12s. Those things might be better than the iPhone 17 Pro Max.
The iPhone 16 and the iPhone 12 are like the exact
Exact
same
same.
thing. Like just actually
Absolutely.
look at the
Brands,
images.
okay, okay, if you think
They're
about it
the
though,
exact same
if you're
thing.
going for price, brands like Google and Samsung provide
And
solid options that are so much cheaper. It's worth considering whether the iPhone is really the best choice anymore.
like definitely, consumers need to do more research before like jumping on the bandwagon of like
Yeah.
I have the iPhone 17, so I'm like better than you.
Yeah, I'm
Like
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 so
you're
cool
poor.
because I'm gonna spend like $17,000 to buy a new phone that's like the exact same as a 16.
Like you're so poor. Like
Yeah.
go get a job. Like it's the exact same
Yeah.
thing. Why would
Yeah.
you spend your money on that?
Mhm.
There's better options for like cheaper
Mhm.
prices. Like
And like we were saying, the iPhone 16 is more of a marketing ploy than a revolutionary product.
yeah, I agree with that. Like I think it's important to for people to recognize that just because it's new doesn't mean it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the old stuff might be better than the new stuff.
Yep. I mean, I still, well, when I used my phone, I had a very long phone. All right, so it looks like we're about to be kicked out of the map, but so this has been one heck of a conversation about how Fortnite and how Fortnite
Technology.
sports technology, it's all connected. Um, so I'll see you next time on the podcast, and we'll see you guys next time on whatchamacallit.